Since last few years, we are running this program and we are successful in improvising upon it. And based on the feedback and suggestions, we have brought certain changes. But thank you, each one of you, for joining this session. Just to give you a backdrop, if you see the requirement and the proposition of business consultancy into India, normally, when we compare the population between India and the US, so US stands around one fourth less than what India is in terms of population. But at the same point of time, if you see the opportunities for the business consultant, it is more around three, four more times than what India is having in terms of the business consultant. And there are three primary reasons why we need business consultant. When we were trying to design the course, we were talking to the industry people and people who have already done this course. One is sometimes within an organization, we face a serious lack of expert opinions coming into picture. And when I say expert opinion, just to give you an example, recently the government of India has redrafted and reformulated rule that all steels which are going to come into production, they should be adhering to the norm of greenhouse gas emissions, and it should not be more than 25%. Whether it is Tata, whether it is Jindal, whether it is what do you call SR, they all have to follow that. Now, this is going to be applicable from 1st January 2026, and many of the companies they still don't know it. Even it is going to be applicable to some other sectors, including textiles. And textile, when we say when it is used for the purpose of exports. So why I'm trying to give you this concept, because companies need people who are expert into these particular areas to advise in terms of the policies, to advise in terms of providing an business process orientation. It is required because they need an strategic overview which is coming from outside the company but giving a bird's eye view onto the issue. Sometimes within the company we are not able to assess in the right manner. And when you see the growth of business consultant in India, so we have the big four firms who are doing a big business by utilizing the expert of the services. They themselves also don't have what you call the in-house people. They also rely on the services of the outside experts. This year, what we have decided is when we are redesigning the course, this course has been redesigned into three modules, which Dr. Ganesh will be covering on. But what we have focused on is that we will bring the different elements by bringing the basic concepts, then moving on from the concept, what are the skill sets required to be a good business consultant, and what are the things which you need in order to develop your own business consultancy business. And then what are the certain elements in terms of the professional ethics and the professional practices which business requires, and what are the emerging areas. So these total things will be covered and divided into three modules. I'm sure you will get benefit out of it if you're getting enrolled into it. But our past experience has is that if we have trained 20 people and they have now been into the business of business consultancy, we are getting more and more requests of trained business consultant. And that is where we have redesigned this particular program, keeping in view the requirement of different sectors and the different kinds of professionals. And I hope by the end of this program, you will be in a position to understand what is the relevance and what is the contextual professional guidance you need, which this course is going to cover effectively and efficiently for you all. And I'm sure even if IMA requires some professional into the domain of business consultant, we will definitely come back to you and seek. Just for your information, we have launched a program where we need a trained consultant into the two specific sectors, which is one is MSME and another is SME. And we have floated a request to all those graduates from this particular course. And I'm happy to share to the people present over here, around 7 people have shown an interest that yes, they can act as a business consultant to that particular program. So that is one of the opportunities I'm talking to you, but there may be many more which is coming into the industry. And I'm sure you may be having a lot of curious questions and observations. Dr. Ganesh is there with me to help you out. But thank you so much for listening to me patiently. Over to you, Dr. Ganesh.
Thank you, Professor Rohit. I think you have, with your initial remark, I think so many observations about the program. And let me just briefly apprise the participants about this initiative. And thank you for your words. I think it's very, very motivating for each one of us to for this program going forward. So let me just share some of the thoughts. I have a presentation. Let me just bring out the same so that so this is about the program, and as Professor Rohit has rightly pointed out that the moment we look into the consulting, business consultancy, obviously we find that there are 10 biggest of the big firm. The names would come to our like mind. We will when we are evaluating, when we are making an assessment, when we are trying to look into the field. So the big 10 names and maybe 10 smaller, somewhat small companies which will count. But let me just bring it out that consulting does not confine to these like names only. And like the biggest of the big name like McKinsey and Company, Boston, BCG, Accenture, Deloitte, Bain and Company, PwC, Ernst and Young, KPMG, Tata Consultancy, Infosys, and maybe somewhat lesser known companies that will count. So the moment we look into the field of consultancy, we are tended to believe that well these are the biggest of the big firm, and maybe the requirement of consultants will come from these firms only. So as we will progress through this session, we'll come to know that what are some of the opportunities in other companies that we are also going to find. And as a freelancer, also many a times we'll find that there will be lot many opportunities for us. Now, before we take into this field, let us understand that why I think this field is very, very important these days. And as an educator in the field of management area, what we are finding that now this field is opted by students also, like the fresh graduates. In fact, somebody going from STEM discipline also, their first job they would prefer is the consulting because of so many things that because the way they are able to find the career opportunities, growth, and the opportunities to learn about the business functions. I think consulting is the most popular career path for even the MBA students. And consulting jobs are extremely competitive. And many a times the students, when they are deciding to make this as a career path, so they would like to have faster career growth, and perhaps they would be joining consulting the consulting firms to have a very accelerated career growth. Joining a consulting firm is one of the quickest and most effective ways to build vast and valuable network. And as a professional, most of the time our efforts are to build up because our success is determined. I think the success of the professionals are determined by the way they are able to they are able to add to their network, and the kind of network, the large network you build will likely span across cities, companies and the seniority levels also, and definitely one of the best reasons to work in consulting. So the most of the time we join field of consulting with the expertise that we have for a field, and obviously we would like to develop the network and we would like to expand our network within that ecosystem. There are some of the recent trends. I think it's very, very important when we are evaluating this field. And for each one of us, be we are an academic or we are industry professional, I think in recent years, the consulting industry has seen a switch from firms and dedicated teams of people to freelance workers and virtual teams. I think it's very, very critical. So many a times, what happens is that it is not that as a consultant, you are attached to some consulting firm, but you are with your expertise, domain expertise, you act as a freelance consultant also. And many a times now these days, like what we are finding that rather than like physically attached to some agencies, organizations, as a virtually also you would be able to render your services, and you can act as a consultant by becoming a member of a virtual group or a team, and you are able to contribute to the field. For example, in USA, some 40% workforce are the freelance or the contract workers that we find. So consulting, I think the field is now totally where perhaps you will find a lot of flexibility, and maybe after having gained experience in a particular field, you are able to contribute to the industry for which you have worked for maybe for 2, 3 decades, or maybe sometimes people having the vast experiences of working in one industry sector, or maybe one set of
स्वेटशर्ट पहन के आए हो
or maybe a
कल को
each
ऐसे
of the
बच्चे
industry
ना
sectors
जब
that
घूम
have
जाए
given
या
them a very diversified kind of experience, so they would be able to utilize that. So what we are also finding is that working with large companies as an outside consultant, because large companies are able to get the assignments, but they do not have or also do not want to add domain expert or for that matter, the specialized skill as their permanent staff. So because all of us know that the keeping a permanent staff is a costly proposition, and many a times like consultants would like to get their like all the assignments done through freelance consultants also. So this is the window for independent freelance consultants to join the teams of the company and add value in terms of a specialized expertise. So if you have certain expertise, maybe you could be engaged as a freelance consultant, as an independent consultant, and you will be contributing to the like whatever the strength that the company has, and you will be an add-on expertise you are going to bring out the you are going to contribute with your expertise or the knowledge base that you have got. When we look at this overall industry, we are finding that in next 5 years, the consulting industry will be thriving even more than today. And the more we are going to find that as technology continues to improve, specific expertise will not only be required, but it will be worth more. This will open doors for those with more relevant education to the specific expertise. So people will those who are having the specific expertise or their specialties vis-a-vis their specialties, the companies are going to evaluate, and you will find that you will be given so many opportunities. You will find that there are so many opportunities for you in different kinds of industry sectors. Now, obviously, the question comes that when we look at what kind of profiles that as a senior executive or many a times when we are looking at the role of a management consultant or a business consultant, so what obviously we are going to find what kind of work that we are going to be engaged with. So daily work of a management consultant includes gathering data, obviously insights through research, surveys, interviews, running analysis, making PowerPoint presentations, pitching solutions to the clients. I think these are the routine jobs that as a consultant we are engaged with. And job obviously would require a lot of traveling, long hours are the norm. So now, as I have been able to emphasize that now with the online, the platforms that are there, the virtual meetings and all that, many a times like these things are the travel and the at your ease from anywhere, perhaps you would be able to render your services. That is possible, but consulting is obviously not 9 to 5 job. You might feel like you are always on, and you may be expected to be um, on the road a lot, and it can be exhausting also many a time. So obviously, it is going to give you a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, you will find that it is a demanding job, and it would require lot of flexibility, and many a times it may innervate you also. But a lot of excitement, obviously, it is going to be there. Now, how is the consulting industry changing? I think that's a very, very critical area that we have to just see that with the advent of higher speeds, incremental deliverables, and
सर एक्सक्यूज मी आपने प्रेजेंटेशन रोकी है सर आपने स्टॉप किया
presentation to that's on, Kiran ji.
नो नो सर नॉट विजिबल सर
It is visible to us.
It
Probably
is
you are not.
visible. It is visible.
It is visible to each one of you.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, very much visible. Very much visible.
Thank you, thank you for your attention. And I'm just trying to emphasize that how this field is changing, and the key thrust that we are finding, which is going to have I think, the bigger impact on this industry is mainly with the advent of now we are in the age of quantum computing and all those areas, cloud computing, and then the cloud technology and the focus of projects. The consulting skills is shifting to customer needs. I think most of the time, like the interventions that we are finding in the organization is either to enhance customer experience and all that. So all areas that we are finding that the consulting opportunities are there, and the emphasis will now be on agility, analytics, business process redesign, customer experience, transforming the entire fabric of the consulting firms. So it is not only limited to the marketing, but in almost all functional areas. And you'll find that the consulting will be a demanding job, and where a lot of opportunities that are there in the organizations today. When we look at what is stored in the consulting industry going forward, obviously we are know that AI is very there, and AI augmented services where consultants will use artificial intelligence. I think generative AI is being used these days to enhance service offerings, creating proprietary algorithms. I think all those advances, tech savvy, that we need to have, and AI will have huge impact in this particular field also, and that will extend the capabilities and validate the recommendations with test, or for that matter the data. So now most of the consulting services is going to be augmented by the uses and application of artificial intelligence and other newer emerging technologies that are there. And greatly we are going to find that consultants will be expected to lend their expertise by embedding themselves in an organization and supporting capability growth throughout their engagement. And sometimes they are going to be a change agent also in the organizations. And rounding out the full stack, so I have already emphasized on this point that the consultant as a freelance independent consultant, you will be adding value to the organization. Maybe whatever the permanent or the bench strength that the company has, you will be an add-on. So consultants will increasingly be expected to integrate themselves with the client teams to augment the organizational capabilities. So as an add-on resource, you are going to augment the organizational the capabilities, and these consultants will function as an outsource, but also as an on-site partner that can round out the gaps within the organization. So maybe as an outsource the resource, or you are going to further build up the capabilities of the organization. Now, the critical, the question that comes into our mind is that do the skill learned in the career helps as a consultant? Because in our program also, when we evaluate, make an assessment of the participants in terms of their experience, age, and all that, we find that most of the participants are joining this program having worked in the industry for maybe 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. So the overwhelming majority of the consultants say that the skills that they learn in their careers help them succeed as a consultant. So whatever skills that you have learned, I think skills, knowledge, and competencies that you have been able to build up over the span of the careers that you have had, maybe they would be very, very helpful in building up your profile as a consultant. And in one of the surveys, we could find that 49% said that these skills helped a lot, and 45% said that they help at least a bit, and only 6% they said that they didn't find any help at all. And it was like once they plunged into the consulting profile, so many a times they have to acquire the knowledge and the expertise to solve the problems of the organization. So consulting is the business of the expertise. If you have developed expertise working in your corporate job, you can become a consultant. So consulting is the business of expertise. So the experience and the expertise that you have gained, obviously it is going to help you become a very effective consultant. So you have developed expertise working in your corporate job, you will certainly become an effective consultant. So consulting is all about it's a business of expertise. So our the strength will be mainly because of the experiences and the expertise that we have gained in our careers. Now, the critical question also is that do freelance consultants have a team? I think many of us find that can we be a solo consultant where solitary we find that we are one person, and can we drive as a consultant? Can we engage in some assignment? So in one of the surveys, it was found that yes, 21% said that I have 5 or more employees or a contractors, and 49% said that yes, I have at least a team of 2 to 4 employees or contractors to assist me in the consulting assignment. And 19% said that I have an assistant admin to help me stay organized. And 11% said that no, I do almost everything alone. So it is all possible that with some assistance also, maybe just to provide you some needful assistance, you can be a very, very effective consultant, and you can certainly engage basis your expertise, basis your own experiences in the industry. You can be you should be able to have a very, very engageful and meaningful, you will be able to get very meaningful assignments as a consultant. So when we are looking at some of the journal trends shaping the consulting industry in India, obviously we are finding that there are at least 8 to 9 areas where we find that a lot of opportunities are there. So one obviously is digital transformation consulting. Most of the organizations, we say digital age. So the major transformation is happening on the digital landscape, and we are finding that with increasing emphasis on digital technologies, Indian businesses are seeking consulting services to navigate the complexities of digital transformation. This includes adopting technologies such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, data analytics, and cybersecurity. So the first area that we are finding where there is a huge demand for the consultant is digital transformation. The second area that we are finding in India specifically is the ESG, rather worldwide, the ESG, the environmental, social, and governance consulting, ESG consulting. And because of the greater awareness, growing awareness for sustainability and corporate responsibility in India, the companies are seeking guidance on incorporating ESG principles into their business strategy and reporting. And ESG consulting helps organizations align with global sustainability goals and enhance their overall reputation. Let me also bring out here that at IMA, we have like for first two areas, we have already created we have been offering two very successful program. One is in the area of digital innovation and transformation for enterprises, and there is another area that is sustainability management. So in all these areas, in fact, we have been running very successfully the workshops on ESG compliance and reporting also part. So in business consultancy, I think you will get overall guidance that how actually, if you have these areas, you have already developed expertise in this area. So how you are going to pitch in as a business consultant in these two areas. Third area, obviously, is the risk management and compliance consulting. And all of us know that as regulatory environments evolve, businesses in India are turning to consultants for guidance on risk management and compliance. This is, I think, again, an emerging area. And this includes staying updated on changing regulations, cybersecurity. I think cybersecurity and data privacy is another important area where we are going to find that a lot of opportunities are going to be there, ensuring business practice aligned with the legal requirements of the firm. The fourth area, obviously, is the healthcare consulting. I think the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the need for the healthcare consulting services in India. And it is not limited only to the people who have the experience in the health sector, but many a times the health sector is also benefited by many of the elite sectors also. So consulting firms are assisting healthcare organizations in the areas of digital health, healthcare, IT, and operational efficiency. Supply chain optimization, I think during COVID time also, it was very, very important area. Disruptions caused by pandemic have highlighted the importance of resilient and efficient supply chains. Consulting services related to supply chain optimization, risk mitigation, and adoption of technologies in supply chain management are in huge demand presently. Obviously, needless to say, this data analytics and business intelligence, I think it is again a very, very important area. And the increasing volume of data generated by businesses has led to surge in demand for this particular area. And companies are looking for insights to make informed decisions and gain a competitive advantage. Human resource and employee well-being. I think employee well-being is very, very critical. Now we are talking about mental health, and all those issues are, so the shift and specifically with the kind of work environments that have been created the hybrid work culture, and we were finding that the shift to remote work and changing work dynamics have led to focus on human resource consulting. And they include like areas like talent management, employee well-being programs, strategies for remote workforce management. I think the thrust is being given to these areas. And furthermore, that we are finding that innovation and R&D consulting companies are investing in innovation and research and development to stay competitive. And consulting firms are assisting organizations in developing innovation strategies, establishing R&D processes, and fostering a culture of innovation. So we are finding that it's a very, very different kind of the opportunities that we are finding, and all these are the emerging areas where if we have been able to build up our own strengths, maybe we will be able to contribute other than the conventional areas that are there. So when we look at these emerging like opportunities, obviously the digital transformation, sustainability, and ESG, and helping digital transformation, most of the, whether it is a large, small, all businesses are now they will be adapting. They have to adopt and adapt to the technologies. So a lot of like interventions are going to be carried out in the organizations, and many a times like the business consultants will be required to help organization navigate through these are like the transitional phases in the organization. Sustainability and ESG, green business practices, a lot of like the consulting assignments that we are finding that for the organizations on energy transition, the the green business strategy, and all those things. So I think this is an emerging area, and obviously now the government is also giving thrust to a startup ecosystem. So advising for advisory for scaling, fundraising, and market entry. In fact, IMA has taken up working closely with Vadwani Foundation, running an accelerator program for MSME's growth in the country, as it was presented to you by Professor Rohit, that already our own consultant, the one who have been able to like graduate from our program, they are now part of like mentor for many of the MSMEs they are guiding. And global expansion, obviously support in entering the international markets. So when a firm would like to enter international markets, I think they would be looking for like some guidance from the consultants that how actually they would like to make the very, very systematic efforts to get into the market and then perhaps scale up their business over there. And now also we are finding that the thrust is given to SMEs and the startups. And these are the untapped potential, because when you look at the growth, the potential for a country now, MSME sector has to contribute a lot, and there is a tremendous opportunity, employment as well as productive employment, and we are finding that GDP in terms of GDP contribution also. So there, the government has given a special thrust to these, like the SMEs and the startup sector, and the role of consultants are required in these particular tools, the areas that we have been able to highlight over here, mainly in terms of streamlining the operations, improving financial performance, and leveraging the government incentives. Because many a times, like the incentives, the programs are there, the companies are not able to like actually execute and bring out the significant changes as per the guidelines that are being provided. So the consultants would be very, very handy, as we could find that implementation was once GST was there. So many of the companies were looking for the consultants to help them out in the new regime, the older tax regime and the new regime that was there. So there are many, many untapped like the potential that we are finding that is there for the consultant. Now, the government initiatives and policies also that we are finding that the government policies many a times are supportive, and they are promoting the consulting opportunities also. Like three drives that are there: Make in India, Digital India, and Startup India. I think all these would require massive intervention in the industries across the sectors that we are going to find that the role of consultants will be immense, because the internal know-how will be very, very limited, and very few resource will be there to actually make the systematic like the changes in the organizations. And for that matter, in all the areas that we have been able to highlight, whether the contemporary or the conventional areas, the independent consultants, they may be the full stack of the company that is there, the permanent staff, will be supplemented and they will be the partially supported by the independent consultants. Now, there is also opportunity of consulting within international funding institutions in India. All of you are aware that all the multilateral, the international agencies like WHO, UNDP, and all internationally funded projects need a baseline data. So when they operate in a particular country related to any area, whether it is the community-based projects or a development project or any education initiative or any the projects that they would like to on all the broader areas that you may think of. So they would require a baseline data, and to work to gather those, capture those data, I think consultants may be required. And all internationally funded projects have a project management unit, PMU, which need consultants. So the other than the opportunities that you will find within India and within the domestic and the companies, the international companies, the multinational companies, the international the funding institutions, they would also require, whether it is a Asian Development Bank or WHO or UNDP or UNICEF, everywhere you are going to find some one or the other opportunities. And all internationally funded projects need monitoring and evaluation tasks from the consultants. Most of the time, when I look when we look at the RFPs, we are finding that most of the time the requirement is for evaluation assessment studies. In fact, at IMA also we have carried out several studies on the evaluation assessment of the government programs, and specifically in the area of MSME and other sectors. So almost 10 of the studies in last 10 years of my stay at IMA, we have been able to find a lot of evaluation assessment studies we have done for different ministries and about the programs or maybe some of the initiative that was taken up by the government. Now, with this background, let me just bring out that this was the context basis which we were able to design this program, Advanced Certificate Program in Business Consultancy. And this came as a spin-off also. I would say that as a spin-off because at IMA, we have been running a very successful program, PhD program in business administration in collaboration with Aligarh Muslim University. And there are around 280 participants who have successfully completed this PhD. It was especially designed for working professionals. So in research area, we have been contributing. 3-4 years back, we could conceptualize that there was also need for trained business consultants. And why not to design a program which is equally applicable, irrespective of the fact that what is our specialty, what is our domain expertise. Can we provide a common curriculum where we train all prospective business consultants, or maybe the one who is currently engaged in business consultancy? They acquire certain learning, certain concepts, certain basic skills about the field, which further help them to be a trained consultant. So this was the objective of launching this program. And what has happened is that now currently this is a 10th batch announcement that we are making. And it's a small batches are always created. So our expectation is that 25 to 30 participants will join in a batch, not beyond that. And always we were able to notice that only the serious lots are joining this particular program. Those who are seasoned professionals, or maybe those who have superannuated looking for second career. So mid to senior level professionals, I would say that the cohort, the size and is small, and very people with highly enriched experience. So maybe they have worked in industry for 25, 30, 40 years, and mix of industry sectors, including academia and consulting firm. So we have been able to receive applications from all sort of industry sectors in India. And if I have to say that whether it's manufacturing, service, health, pharma, you name any industry, I think in our programs in last 9 batches, we'll have one or the other participant. There is a increasingly very, very enthusiastic the response that we are finding from academia also, because now being myself and management academic, sometimes our role is not only confined to teaching and research, isn't it? So many a times we act as a trainer and as a consultant also, and many a times our inquiry is at the interface. It's not purely academic inquiry that in our researches that we are making. Sometimes the problem that we identified is related to industry, and with the academic rigor, the research, we try to provide some solution to the problem that industry is facing. So many a times we as an academic also have to act as a consultant. So the response from academic also has been in this program. So in nutshell, if I have to say that it's a mix of participants that we are getting from these programs. And in terms of conceptualization, let me just bring it out that when we were trying to conceptualize this program, so we thought that let us create a very generalized program which is helping all sort of participants, irrespective of the fact that from what field they are coming. So if anybody want to venture into business consultancy, what are some of the critical knowledge base skills about understanding about the field that they need to have? Let us provide those elements in our program. So in our conceptualization, we thought that let us divide this program into 3 modules, where the first module will be obviously focusing on the consulting, the field of consulting, where we will be focusing on concepts and services, consulting as a service, and what are like the important process and tools, all the frameworks that are used by the consultant for assessment and evaluation of a business problem. So the consulting process and tools, and the consulting business development and client management. I think it was very, very important because obviously as a consultant for you, I think engaging with the client and how actually you are going to reach out to the clients to get to know about their problem and find a purposeful engagement with the client. So the first module was on concept, services, processes, tools, and the consulting client management. All those issues are covered. The second module is from concept, we are moving to the skills part. So soft skills for consulting, how your engagement is going to take it out, the behavioral skills, developing the effective, developing an effective consulting proposal and consultancy report writing. This is a very, very important because ultimately your introduction is through your consulting proposal only to the organization, to the client. So we thought that let us devote another module on this, the consulting proposal writing and all those parts. So the skills and the consulting proposal writing was the second module of the course. And the third is many of us would like to, having worked in a particular industry for maybe for 3 decades, 4 decades, now you want to start your own consulting firm. As I shared that maybe as a freelancer, you have 2 people to assist you, and with one area that you have identified, having experienced in one particular area, you want to open up your own consulting firm. So how to start and manage your own consulting business, emerging areas of business consultancy, and obviously as a consultant, when we are there, we should learn about the like professional practices and ethics. So very generalized module, but it is must. I would say that it is the core essential of the consulting that we are covering in these modules, in these 3 modules. So obviously it is 70, I would say that 30 plus 20 plus 20 to 70 hours of immersive learning. Online live sessions are organized during the weekends. Only one weekend we are taking up, Saturday. Most of the time it is Saturday. As per the convenience of the participant, the classes are scheduled maybe for 3 hours. Only one weekend we are utilizing. And it's a very, very engaging, immersive like engagement with the lead instructors that is going to happen with you. And most of the time when we are inviting these lead instructors, they are the pre-academics. I would say that they will have orientation of both because it's an educational program to train prospective business consultant or to sharpen their skills. So we are inviting only those academics who have experienced the consulting field. So all 3 modules are led by the leading academics. And what we have introduced also, because we have been receiving feedback from the participants, they were saying that there need to be some face-to-face interaction also. It is not in the online age. Most of the time our interaction, you have seen people in virtual mode, but it is also important that to network or maybe to gain the industry insight through some physical interaction when you have face-to-face interaction with the experts. So what we have decided for the 10th batch is that for at least 2 days at IMA New Delhi, we are going to have like this immersive workshop where after the completion of the 3rd module, so 2-day in-person workshop at IMA New Delhi, and it is an immersive workshop facilitated by renowned consultant and the objective of this workshop is to provide hands-on learning and direct interaction with the industry experts. So other than 70 hours of the immersive learning that is going to be imparted, and most of the time it is the sessions are planned so that you have a discussion with the lead instructors. The instructor is going to provide you the core essential about this field and all the learnings about the core essential about the field, and you get an opportunity to also interact with the lead resources. And the second opportunity is that at the end of the third module, you will be given some opportunity to network and find it out that maybe coming to IMA, you will have an opportunity to interact with the lead resources who are invited for.
ಆಗಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ನೀನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ ನನಗಿದ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ.
In terms of learning resources, what we have been giving is that other than the instructors will give you the presentations and all that, all their handouts and notes during the classes, as the session will progress, there are 2 books. We are finding that it's a very, very useful, relevant. I would say that every management consultant should go through this book, and very, very foundational understanding that you will get from these 2 books. One by Milan Kubr, that is ILO Geneva publication, Management Consulting, A Guide to Profession. And the second book is The Art of Consulting. Calvert Markham, there are so many titles are there, but we are giving this title, Art of Consultancy. And additional readings, obviously, it is going to be provided to in each of the module, and you will also get access to AMA, that library online resources. So we have a huge the library resources, and through network of the access that we have for different libraries these days through Delnet and other the connections that we have got. So you will be facilitated with all learning materials that you require for this course through AMA online resources that we have, library online resources that we have got. Now, because this is a advanced certificate program, obviously, though it is a learning, it is going to be imparted with 70 hours of interaction that you are going to have with lead instructors, including the 2 days immersive workshop. So once you complete these portions, so what will happen is that you are going to be evaluated on the basis of, there are 3 bases, the assessment criteria. The first, obviously, is comprehensive examination. It's an open book situation-based questions where we are 60% weightage is going to be given. So when I say open book examination, what happens is that you are permitted to use any of the resources that are there with you. So only thing is that your application, how you are able to identify, critically analyze the problem, situations are provided. And usually what happens is that during weekends only we are conducting this examination. So maybe at 9 o'clock, the questions will be sent to you, and by evening, late evening, you are required to submit the answers. So either it is handwritten, or maybe you will type it on through keyboard and then convert into PDF, and an email ID will be shared with you. You have to share the answer by late evening. So entire day is given to you for comprehensive examination. And the second part is very, very important, because I think the consulting proposal, so a lot of guidance, the 20 hours, the guidance is given on this. And so 30% weightage we are giving. So you'll have to identify some problem, some companies the consulting need requirement, and basis that you'll have to develop a proposal. So this proposal is for evaluation purpose. So with a disclaimer also, you can present it that, well, this is only for the examination that you are developing. It may be a real life case also. It may be a case where you are not disclosing the name of the company. And the Viva Voce is mainly based on the consulting proposal that you have submitted. So 10% weightage is given to Viva. That is conducted after you have submitted the proposal. So after 3 modules and in physical workshop that is there, you will have to appear in a comprehensive examination, and subsequently a timeline will be given to you to submit. Maybe once you are in second module, after you have gone through second module, guidelines will be shared with you how to develop consulting proposal. And some of you, if you are requiring some bona fide certificate from IMA, where you want to discuss the problem with the client, and basis that you want to develop a proposal, so we can issue a bona fide letter that, well, you are a participant of this advanced certificate program in business consultancy, and you would like to develop a consulting proposal, whether it is awarded by that company or not, but at least you will be able to identify and will be able to evaluate the problem worthy of the consulting assignment, and then you should be able to develop a proposal based on the requirement that you are able to ascertain from your interaction with the client. So any the letter of recommendation that you require, that could be given from IMA. And obviously, basis on these three assessment criteria, you are going to be graded by on relative, because always there are 20 people are there, so we have to follow some grading system. And so basis that, what is our expectation for all our executive program is that at least you should have obtained minimum B grade. So if you in marks percentage, though it is a normalized marks, we expect that all of you should have scored minimum like a 60% mark, so that you are awarded with this and obviously this B grade in your comprehensive examination, including your consulting proposal and viva voce. So all inclusive, your B grade should be there. And once you meet out these requirements, you are awarded with this advanced certificate program in business consultancy. And let me also bring it out that sometimes when you are not able to submit this consulting proposal or appear in the comprehensive examination, so the intake is twice in a year. So what happens is that one more opportunity is given to you. So if you have joined in July batch and somewhere you are finding that you have to submit this consulting proposal and appear in comprehensive examination after 6 months, and you are not able to do because of your some pre-engagements or maybe your professional the mobility or occupational mobility. So maybe for one or the other reason, you are not able to appear in the examination. One more chance is given to you in subsequent batch comprehensive examination. You should be able to appear, and with your consultancy proposal and viva evaluation, you should be awarded. Good thing about this is that you will gain the status of IMA alumnus also, because IMA is a pretty old organization. For last, I think 1957 till date, 1976 was the first year that we had our in education initiative. We started with our diploma in management. I think it was first ever diploma, and with the special charter by Ministry of Education, Government of India, we were able to start that. So you will be part of the larger ecosystem, and since this is a 6 months program, so you will be given the status of this alumni also going forward. So, and as it was pointed out, and this information was given by Professor Rohit in the beginning, that let me also bring it out that most of the time with these programs, our effort is to bring up the capacities. So it's a cascading effect. Most of the time, I would say that it's a cascading effect. So it's a train the trainer. So it's not that we are training in a program 20 consultants. We believe that these 20 consultants will further train their resources in their own companies, isn't it? So we are building up capacities through this program. And if I say that 200 consultants being trained this program, so in all the MI initiatives, since you are part of MI ecosystem, in any of the research projects or consulting assignments, obviously your profile is in our active database. And though we do not say that you will be given any placement opportunities or something like that, because it is executive program where you are finding that some value addition is going to be there. You are going to make out of the efforts that you are making. So on an indirect basis, what is going to happen is that once you qualify this program, obviously for some of the initiatives that AMA does take, because all of you are experienced, you have the industry experience, you have worked in a particular industry. So if any of the assignments that we get typically from the kind of expertise that you have, we are going to rope in those you as a resource for some of the initiatives that AMA is taking up. So what we believe is that through this program, we are going to help you gain, rather further strengthen, build up, or maybe enrich your understanding, your knowledge, your skills, your competencies in a particular field, and subsequently helping IMA and other organizations also. It's not that as we are finding the trend is that it is not that only you are going to be engaged as a full-time consultant by the company. You should be able to start your own consulting firm going forward. And considering this, we have kept the fee. That is, I think that I would say that the pricing, the program fee that we have kept at a level where we have to just meet out the cost of the running this program, because you know that with this initiative, when we have like 20 people joining this course and with 60,000 fees, most of the time we are incurring expenditures to facilitate this program only. So I think the fee will come around 5,000 plus 18% GST. So it is including the GST, this figure is coming out. And this will include cost of learning material and the examination fee. So with 6 months of engagement, I think most of you should be able to complete this program. For any of the queries that you have got, I would request Kiranji to share the program brochure with all the participants who have joined this program and who shows their interest going forward in for this program. I think to each one of us, Kiranji, please share the program brochure so that they know exactly that in what way this program is going to be run. In case you have any specific question, please do write to me, and I would be more than happy to respond to your queries. So you may directly reach out to me also at gsing@ima.in if you have any specific queries. But let me just say to this with all modesty that our effort is to enhance the capabilities and capacities of industry professionals. This is the one initiative that we have taken up from IMA side. And we would like to further build up on the strengths that already we have built up with a strong alumni base of more than 200 professionals already having acquired this certification. And you are also going to be called in AMA's convocation. If I am correct, Kiranji, I think we are inviting these business consultancy participants also to AMA convocation also.
Yes, sir.
So you would be also invited to AMA's convocation when graduation ceremony is organized. So with this note, I think this is all that I wanted to share. If you have any specific questions, please do reach out to us. And in this session also, if you have any specific question, please feel free to ask. Kiranji, we have time. I think we can take questions from the participants.
Yes, sir. 5 minutes.
5 minutes we have, so we may take few questions from the participants in case you have any queries. But Kiranji will be sharing the entire detail. I think the brochure and all those informations will be shared with you. Thank you. This is all that I wanted to share from my side.
Sir, question.
Please.
Yeah. So the question is related to the sessions that you're going to conduct. Are they going to be on the weekends? And then if we, for any reason, if we miss any of those sessions, will the recordings be available?
Yes, I think these sessions are. May I know this question is coming from whom?
I'm Ravi from Hyderabad.
Achar, Mr. Ravi, I think all the sessions are held only on weekends only, and we are utilizing only one weekend. So when we started, we could think of utilizing both the weekends, but we thought that let us spare at least one weekend because all of you are senior professionals also many a time, so at least one weekend should be free. So as of now, we are conducting these sessions only on Saturdays, first half, and even if you are not able to attend, but my advice will be there that please attend these sessions. When you have joined the program, it's a very, very enriching. Please do join the sessions. In case you're not able to attend because of your any engagements that you have got, recording of the sessions will be provided to you.
Thank you so much. Sir, second question is that I'm in the mailer list. Ms. Kiran Rao sends me this program. In the earlier program, I've seen the brochure that there's some certification also. So
please you finish, then I'll come.
Yeah, there's a certification also, certified AIMA consultant or something like that. So is this included in this program, or is it separate, or what is that, or is it dropped?
So now let me just, because see, when we are taking up any initiative, so this is now this announcement for 10th batch, as of now we are doing for this your engagement, that is for 6 months, that engagement with 3 modules and certification basis on the assessment that we are going to have, basis the comprehensive examination, viva voce and all that. AMA accreditation for business consultant, this is like we were able to announce for the 9th batch, but what is happening is that for that batch, there are certain like the mandatory norms. The one norm that we are keeping is that you should have completed advanced certificate. And the second thing, that at least 2 successful consulting assignments you have done. So that is again, and because we have been receiving, because see, AMA as a body of management professional, most of the time when we are introducing the program, it is for the benefit of the industry professionals only. And we are all, most of the time when we are taking initiative, we are receiving the feedback also, and basis the feedback, we make certain decisions that what should be our next step. So when we introduced this second phase of the program, when we said that accredited business consultant, many of the participants were saying that since they are the newcomers, so maybe they will take another 2-3 years to get complete their consulting projects, and then they will be given the opportunity. They will be given opportunity by IMA to come forth for this accreditation. So we are revisiting on that part. So that announcement will take another month or so, and then we'll reach out to you that if there is some change in norm. And as of now, this advanced certification will remain mandatory. But whether like 2 projects you have completed, maybe some other conditions will come. The internal the assessment is being made, and we will be able to reach out to you with for accreditation part. That will reach out with the other set of norms, because temporarily we have withdrawn that part of 2 mandatory like research project, the consulting projects, and then basis that viva voce is conducted. We are evaluating some other ways. Even if you have not completed 2 projects, what should be the rigorous process basis which we should be able to evaluate you as a like, and we'll be able to provide you some accreditation by IMA.
Okay.
So we'll reach out to, but let me just make it at this juncture clear that for all the candidates, even if the next stage, because we are the criteria that we are evaluating for their accreditation, the parameters that we want to keep, this advanced certificate will remain as an essential element. Because without IMA's advanced certificate, we are not going to link with accreditation, because this will be, because as a body, we have, why we are taking up 2 steps, because one is like providing certain base understanding knowledge of the field. You are joining this program with your own like experience, expertise. With AMA's program, you are being funneled, or you are able to you are provided to certain stream of understanding about the field, and then there is some guidance is also given to you, and basis that now we are moving to the next stage where we are evaluating certain areas which will be critical for the accreditation purpose. So those areas that we are trying to evaluate at this moment. And earlier we announced that, but we received the feedback from participants that many a times only it is hardly 1 or 2 people will be able to complete the 2 successful assignments, and many a times like submitting the same report to IMA for evaluation may not be permitted because of like some confidentiality clauses will be there, and same reports we should not be able to submit to IMA. So we were recipient to those like the feedbacks, and then we thought that let us withdraw at this moment for 10th batch, at least start this program as an advanced certificate program, and subsequently bring out the norms that we are going to keep. But one condition that will remain as an essential condition is that you should have completed this advanced certificate program in business consultancy. That's for sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other question and observation you have? Maybe I can look at chat also. I think there is some. I think.
Sir, I have one question. This is Ritu from New Delhi. I would like to know, when we say a successful consulting assignment, is there any duration to it? What is going to be the nature of this assignment like?
So earlier, if you're talking about the earlier program you might have seen the earlier brochure, we introduced 2-phase programs. So the second phase as of now, we are coming up with the new guidelines for the accreditation. The earlier guideline, if you want to just seeking for like some queries on the earlier guideline, so it is under like we are going to make some revision in the norms that we are going to keep for business accreditation part. And you are asking about the duration, so it should be like it should be like two successful assignments in the as a consultant. Maybe you have taken up this course in this particular year, and you have done previously also. You should be able to submit those assignments to us. But that it is under we are revising this particular criteria. So you will get some other norm for accreditation going forward. But as of now, this completion of this business consultancy course is mandatory.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'll just try to put it a little in a simple manner. Like, for example, a consultancy thing can happen in a day also. For example, you sit with the client and for 2 or 3 hours you're discussing on something and you conclude it. And it can be something like some, change in the management style system. And this assignment may go on for, say, 2, 3 months also. So when we are summarizing the project itself, does it mean that it can be either of
No, I
this?
think this is very, I would say that the practicality that you have, the role of consultant, it is maybe many a times like you are in advisory role also. So over a meeting also, you provide some guidance, some advices or to the client. So obviously here in this the evaluation, we are looking for a complete report, and there are going to be certain guidelines to be provided for those reports. So in terms of the nature, duration of the project, all those elements
All
are
right.
there. So that is under consideration. We will reach out to you once maybe it will take another 2-3 weeks time. We will reach out to you with the
Sure.
requirement that will be there for evaluation.
Thank you so much.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Please.
Yeah, my name is Sai Prasad. I'm from Mumbai. Is your course is recognized or accepted across India or international, as you mentioned? There is just scope. This certification is sufficient enough, or there will be any add-ons for that?
I think this is an AMA's autonomous program, I would say that. So AMA, as a body of management profession in the country, many of the programs we do offer, it is the AMA's autonomous program. So we'll say that this program is it's an advanced certificate program, and the certification is based on like certain learning modules and the program requirements. And once you fulfill that requirement, the certificate is awarded. And AMA is pretty prestigious like a body, and so what will happen is that as I have already shared that 200 people, they have already benefited from this program. So it's sharpening your skills. So it's more of upskilling and then building up your profiling and all that. So it's a IMA's autonomous program. The credentials are going to be provided by IMA. It's neither approved by any regulatory bodies or so. And for shorter duration program, I think such statutory norms are also not there. So it's a IMA's autonomous program.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So let me just go through if any specific, otherwise let me just go through the chat and so please share the video link or PDF of PPT presentation of the speaker. That will be shared with you if you want. And it's excellent. The program is a value addition to our experience and golden link to world business scenario. Thank you, Mr. Kishore. Kishore, thank you for your, I think, this feedback. And daily training expenses. So the expenses, see, you will have to make your travel and stay arrangement. So here, 2 days expenses. I'm on Lajpat Nagar. So we are going to host you for 2 days with, so 2 days is intensive program. Obviously with the lunch and the 2 tea breaks, we are going to organize, but you will have to manage this expenses, stay as well as. Though we can provide you some like support in terms of like finding out a place near Rajpat Nagar where you can find a stay place, but you'll have to incur your own expenditure.
Hello, sir.
Do you have any 1 year post-graduation certificate in management? We have, I think, numerous programs. So we have now recently we have introduced postgraduate program, executive program with international immersion. Maybe we'll organize the other session to brief you about this program also. So it's not classes, Mr. Manu Chaudhary. The classes is not from Monday to Saturday. It is only for during weekend, only one weekend for 3 hours. Saturdays only we are. Mr. Pramod ji, I think you are asking that any hand holding or help is provided after the program. I think the first very remark came from Director CME, Professor Rohit, and from my side also. So complete hand holding is there. So you are our resources only for next set of initiative that IMA takes in this consulting area. So anything that comes to area, we look at your profile only because you are pass out from our own program. So as he shared the example of this Vadvani Foundation and IMA coming together for SME growth. So most of like consultants are our pass outs only. Hope I am able to answer this question. Do you have 1 year post-graduation certificate in management? We have, I think, many in all areas you will find general as well as very, very specialized kind of program, digital marketing, business analytics, sustainability, all important areas are covered. So how many of 200 participants are now independent or freelance consultant? I would say that majority of them. So some of them like bearing the academic and somebody working for industry because they as an industry participant, they are working on some consulting project internally, isn't it? Otherwise, most of them are like independent and freelance consultant only. Any discount on offered fee? So some early bird discount is there. Kiranji will reach out to you. If you are interested, reach out to kiran@ama.in for those information. Some early bird discount till 15th December we are offering. So Kiranji will be able to apprise you on early bird discount. Because see this, as I said that the fee, if you just evaluate, it is just to meet out our cost that we have for the running this program. Otherwise, small batch size. How many have got accreditation now? None. I would say none. None accreditation because the only certification has been given and all are experienced professionals. Accreditation process now we are redefining because earlier we floated this idea of accreditation. So many like comments came that the engagement of consultant with the client, as I think Ms. Ritu was also able to point it out that the engagement time and the kind of project assignment, those norms we are making it clear to the participants. But for each one of you, even if accreditation will come from IMA, I think this will be mandatory because we will not be going with any accreditation without this advanced certificate. That is for sure. Manu Chaudhary, you want to ask something? Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to ask. Actually, I'm not free on Saturday also. So then, can I join in this class in Sunday?
So what happens usually is, see, it says always a small batch, 20-25 people are joining. So we seek the consensus. If majority of you say that, well, Sunday is fine. So we try to manage these classes on Sunday, but we keep both the days. But as of now, what is happening is that only during the weekends, the preference that is given is for Saturday, isn't it? As of now. But if you are, if the class is there, everyone is like now they say that, well, Sunday would be fine. Sunday would be equally fine. So maybe from 10 to 1, the classes could be organized.
Okay, sir. Actually, I'm working in an organization, so I can. So every Saturday is not possible for me. I can join.
So only if the Saturdays that you can manage, it's okay. Otherwise, the online, the recording is given to you. You can listen to the recordings and all that. If you have any specific questions, queries, you can seek a time from lead instructor and then maybe they can guide you.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
That flexibility we have because all of you are working professionals. We understand your constraint, but my sincere advice always will be there to all participants that once you have enrolled in the program, please do attend the sessions. And even if you're not able to attend, at least go through the recorded sessions. That is, I think, most essential.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
So this is Nikhil Mahakal. Actually, I have a doubt. I have downloaded the brochure 1 month ago. So in
Okay.
that I can compare the current brochure and the older one. So therein I can find out that few topics in each modules has been reduced. So could you please explain on that and what will be the weightage for the case study for this certification course?
Bilkul. I think that's a very, very important, Nikhil. I think you have been able to raise a very important point of view. So what has happened is that during the last ninth batch, when we were introducing this program, so we thought to bring out this specialization tracks also. But what is the response that we are finding is that all of you are coming from different fields. So it is always advisable in case, let's assume that you want to specialize in digital business management consulting area, or maybe like as a specialist in digital transformation, or maybe HR and leadership. So, what we are also thinking is that other than this generic program that we are offering, that is one common program that we are offering to all professionals, we'll introduce micro modules. So, micro modules means that 10-hour session, obviously, that will be, we are going to introduce them as a specialized module, but that will be a separate module. So, ninth, that is why perhaps basis the input that we received from the participants, these specialized modules will be offered subsequently only. So as of now, we are announcing this with three modules: the basic core essential of business consultancy, and then maybe 10-hour modules on 5, 6 specialization tracks that we are going to identify, whether it is HR, strategy, ESG, digital transformation, as I have highlighted my main presentation, all 6, 7 areas, 10-hour specialization. But again, that will be at the nominal, I think, the fees that we are going to charge from the participant, because for running the course program module, we would require certain resources from IMA side also to run this kind of a program. So for 6 micro modules, we have 10 hours. Maybe going forward, we are going to announce these modules. So let's assume that you are interested only in digital transformation area. So maybe 10-hour session you should be able to attend. Over 2, 3 weekends, the classes could be held. So that we are going to work it out, and will be able to announce it separately.
Okay, sir, got it. Means we are expecting more hours as discussed in this session, that is 70 plus 10 hours. Means we are
70 plus 10 hours, but with additional fee
additional
and your
fee.
time.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes, yes.
additional fee and time, because it is not possible for us.
Right,
So
right.
with one basic program where we take you to a level and then take to the specialization tracks.
Because
So
sir, actually I was very much interested in strategy consulting, so that's why I asked this question, because I cannot identify the difference between the current.
yes, I think your question was quite valid. I expected that this question will come for the reason that we announced earlier. But now what we are doing is that with one foundational module that already we have introduced. So
Okay,
this module is of 70 hours plus 10 hours with additional fee,
okay,
additional timeline, additional certification we'll give. Super hyper specialization certification that will be given, right? 10
right,
hours, maybe some micro credential will be given to you
right, sure.
once you obtain that.
Okay, got it, sir.
But if you ask me as a uh, key anchor for the program from IMA side to steer up this program, I think my input would be that all these 3 modules are fundamentals, and every business consultant must go through these 3 modules, because they are the core essentials, basics. Without that, you will neither be any of the streams that you choose, whether it is finance, strategy, digital, ESG, whatever area that you are, analytics, data science, wherever you are working. I think these are like the core consulting skills, concepts every consultant need to know.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you.
All right. So I think in the chat box also I have taken up most of the questions. Daily training expenses do have So we are going to have the another the webinar informing about our this. So we are, as of now, we do not have any post-graduation certificate. So let us, I think this advanced certificate and professional diploma going forward, we may announce, but as of now, it is not there. I think most of the questions I have taken up in the chat also that was there. Any specific question? We can take one or two more questions and then we can wind up the session for today. So Kiranji, please share with the participants the detail the current brochure that we have for the program, and whatever the developments that we have in terms of the accreditation and the other shorter duration modules that we are going to offer on the specialization track. That announcement also maybe going forward we are going to announce to these participants who have attended this particular webinar today. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining. I think so thank you everyone for joining this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
All right.